Ah! Good evening, chat. Happy Tuesday. Tuesday is, of course, the weird day. So today, assuming you haven't read the title, we're going to be returning to r/am I the asshole to determine if the posters are indeed assholes or not. Hi, Amikins. So if you don't know how this works, basically, we're going to read the story as given. I will make, some comments as we go through it, and then I will deliver my judgment on the OP. So, let's go ahead and get started with this first one, which doesn't sound too crazy. We don't want to start, we don't want to go off the deep end right away. Am I the asshole for giving my part of the inheritance to my brother when my sister needs it for her IVF? IVF, of course, being in vitro fertilization. So I guess she can't have a kid or something. All right. So OP is 34-year-old male, father, 65 male. I don't know why that's important. Died a few months ago, and his estate is now being divided between me and my 2 siblings. All right. I have enough money and don't really need the inheritance. My siblings and I were talking about the money that is supposed to be divided 3 ways. Oh, cat's on the computer again. All right, he's not close to the off button though, so we should be okay. I'm childless. My brother, 33, has 3 small kids, and my sister, 41, has been trying for a baby for over a decade now. Oof. Maybe just give it up at this point. I told them since I don't need the money, I'm thinking of giving it to my brother, because he's been struggling financially. Can use the money. My sister asked if I could instead give it to her for her last round of IVF. That would cost her share plus my share of the inheritance. Holy shit, how much is IVF? As it's her last chance to have a baby. I told her I'm sorry, but our brother doesn't have much money and has 3 kids depending on him, so I feel that it's better he gets my money. She asked me if my brother's kids are more important than hers, and I said, well, yes. The living children take priority over the imaginary. Ooh. She was very hurt, called me an asshole for not helping her out, and 2, insulting her and belittling her struggles. ETA. I don't know what that means. I don't have children myself because I struggled with infertility. Okay, that's don't care, didn't ask. So, before we look at the comments, I will say kind of an asshole, but not wrong. Like, because just because you're an asshole doesn't mean you're wrong. But he's out here like belittling his sister. I can't say that word. She doesn't have kids. She wants to have kids. Although I don't know how much. He didn't specify how big the inheritance was, but the fact that she needs 2 shares of the inheritance to be able to afford more IVF. And she's been doing it maybe for a while now. I just give it up, man. Adopt a kid, or I don't know. At 41, that's just sad. Okay, not the asshole. You could have worded that to your sister a little nicer, but you're not wrong. Infertility is really, really hard. Finding out you're not pregnant again is devastating. Unless, of course, you know, you don't want to be pregnant and then you're like, oh, thank God. Yeah, he handled it in an asshole way, Emikin says. Like, he's not wrong. It's his money to do what he wants with it. And yeah, it's their money. You can do with it what you want. I would just keep the money, but I'm, you know, I guess this guy's super well off. He's the same age as, oh no, he's about the same age as me. His brother's the same age as me, I think. No, I'm still 32. I haven't turned 33 yet. We got another month to go, chat. All right, well, that was a nice little bite-sized appetizer for us to get started with. Am I the asshole for telling my wife, that she doesn't need to be with her sick friend at the hospital? Oh boy. So my wife has a friend from childhood named Anthony. I'm being completely honest here when I say that he and I don't get along. Why do you don't, I mean, I would assume you're being honest. It's not like he's rude or disrespectful, but I feel towards him is annoyance. Oh no. Because of how much my wife sees him. He lives alone and now suffers from a medical condition, cancer. That's not a medical condition, dude. That requires him to go to the hospital regularly to receive treatment. I found out that my wife promised him to go with him to his every chemo treatment as support. She said it's a commitment she made to be there for him during this rough time since he has no one else besides him. Okay, I had no issues with that at first, but then this started affecting me. For example, I can't go see my friends because I have to stay with my son on X day so my wife could be with Anthony for his treatment, etc., etc. I've talked to her about it, but she said that Anthony needs company and that she's just being supportive, and this is when he needs her the most. I let it go, but last week was just kind of my last straw. Anthony had a other chemo session treatment and my wife wanted to go with him and asked me to stay home with our son. Ugh, gross. I told her I had a meetup with my mom and sister to eat lunch and I won't be home. She said she needs to go to be with him, and I kind of flipped out at her and said she doesn't need to be with him and could literally go see him at home the next day or something. She threw a fit and called me cruel for forcing her to leave Anthony by himself since she's all he has and that I was making her look bad. She also said my appointment with mom and sister wasn't as important as a chemo session, but I decided to just leave to end the argument. She ended up staying at home but kept ignoring me when I got back, calling me selfish for not letting her be there to support Anthony with what he's going through. Some of her girlfriends think I'm being a controlling jerk with no consideration for Anthony and what he's going through. Am I the asshole? A little bit, yeah. Like, you know, I assume these are regularly scheduled treatments, so the fact that if you're like, say your wife's going every Wednesday or whatever, and you're like, well, I'm gonna schedule something for that Wednesday, even though I know my wife is gonna want to go hang out with her friend who's dying of cancer, you know. Yeah, I'm gonna say the asshole. Maybe there's more information. My mom and sister would be pissed at me if I didn't bring my son with me to lunch. Wait. Oh, comment removed by moderator. We don't get to see what it said. It's sad. Oop. Looks like I'm early. I'll pop back in a few hours to hopefully see that you've been completely nuked for this. You're the asshole. Suffers from a medical condition, cancer. It's life or death, not a condition. Do you have a heart? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, that's not a medical condition. That's literally you're gonna die. You're the asshole. Your son should be higher priority than you going to lunch or hanging with your friends. Also, chemo is hell. Nobody should have to go through it alone. If Anthony has only your wife for support, so be it. Man, yeah, this is there. He's getting piled on. Yeah, absolutely. You're the asshole. I hope no one in your family ever gets cancer. It's 1 day a week. You watch the kid. Wife either watches her friend die slowly and painfully, or he gets better but is still sick and has long-lasting health issues from the chemo. Oof. You're the asshole. You just conveniently can only see your friends on the days that Anthony has chemo treatments. Why can't you plan around them? That's what I was saying. Man, all right. I'm glad that the hive mind agrees with me. I'm not the only one. All right. Am I the asshole for asking my son to get a paternity test? Oh, okay. My son, 18, has found out one of his ex-girlfriends is 8 months pregnant. He knew nothing of the sort of her being pregnant until now, and now he's just expected to accept everything, no questions asked. My daughter, 20, is good friends with this girl and knew about her pregnancy, but said nothing to us because her friend asked her not to. Okay, daughter's the asshole. My son was head over heels for this lady, but she ended up breaking his heart by cheating on him. He's very needy and manipulative. All right, it's a soap opera now. He spent a lot of money on her because she would ask for a gift my son couldn't even afford and convince him to use one of my credit cards to achieve it. All right. English is a second language, probably. My daughter, who isn't currently living with us and is actually rooming with her by her college, is also being manipulated by her and think she only does good and doesn't believe that she convinced her brother to use my credit or that she even cheated. Showed up with my son's ex-girlfriend at my door to help her tell us she's pregnant. When I see her there at my door visually pregnant, I knew she's gonna be saying that my son is the father of her child, and immediately said that my son will not be putting in any money or time until there's a paternity test proving that it is his child. My son backed me up and agreed. My daughter was horrified by my comment and accused me of encouraging him to be a deadbeat father and was upset I didn't even give them a chance to explain themselves. What's to explain? My son's ex started crying, saying you always assume the worst of me and that she went 8 months of pregnancy alone and the least we could do is ensure she's taken care of for the betterment of his child. If it's his child. I do agree that if this is his child, we gonna ensure mom is doing well to ensure baby's doing well, but I don't want my son to be involved with her only to get his heart broken again and only to find out the child isn't his. Am I the asshole here? No. No, not the asshole. I need a paternity test because you cheated on me. How can you say that? Don't you trust me? No, because you cheated on me. Daughter needs a reality check. Yeah, daughter's the biggest asshole here. Sounds like a scam. Yep. Not the asshole. A paternity test in this situation is completely reasonable. Did she give a reason for not telling him until it was far too late for him to be involved in other decision? She said because she was scared he won't believe her or of his reaction. All right. Good stuff. Who's to follow you, baby? You guys remember Miss Cleo? I swear, I'm like the only person who ever knows this. Hold on, let me find this. We're gonna take a quick detour here. Don't autoplay. Oh, the Minions. Why is it always the Minions? Every freaking time, man.
You have questions. I have the answers.
Who asked you to go out of town? The stupid young one or the married one?
The married one.
That's what I thought. Don't go, you hear me?
If you want him to believe that it's over, then you gotta stop accepting the booty calls at 2 a.m. in the morning. You understand?
Yeah.
Could you tell me what type of direction is my life headed into?
Last 4 nights, your feelings have been hurt, so you've been up all night.
Yes.
You haven't been, and this is around a relationship.
Oh, talk about it.
Okay? Don't make me take you to church, young man.
The ex is much better than the present one, you know. Did you think that you were pregnant a couple of months back?
Yes.
You were, but you lost it, correct?
Yeah.
The secret that you were holding back.
You already hit it. It was about the baby.
Michael, you really got yourself into trouble on that one, brethren. I got backup this time.
This person that's around you right now has been in jail before.
Yeah, you're right. You're telling the honest truth. Right.
You know, people have been criticized and jabbed at and talked about throughout the ages for having different beliefs. And apparently I am no exception. although it is a constant challenge. I will continue. I will not allow them to stop me. I will teach as a shaman and help those who seek the knowledge.
There you go. The best of Miss Cleo. Relip is here. Don't you trust me? Doesn't trust the other person enough to tell them anything about the situation for fear of their reaction. Yeah. She did go to jail. It was the whole thing. I just remember those infomercials from when I was a kid. And I'm like, why? Who is this lady and why would I ask her for anything? Who are the poor people who are calling and being like, Miss Cleo, please read my tarot cards and tell me what I did wrong in my life, when I'll do it for you for free. You just have to post on Reddit. And hello, Rilla. Am I the asshole for making my husband feel bad about going on a trip while I'm 33 weeks pregnant? High risk? Wait a minute, hold on. Okay, my husband is planning to go on an all expenses paid celebratory trip with colleagues to Europe soon, and is adding a couple days to see family. At the time of his travels, I will be 32 to 33 weeks pregnant with our second child. Although I really would love for him to go and have some fun, there's several reasons why I'm not feeling good about him going on this trip. This is a high-risk pregnancy. Okay, I'm not going to read all that. I'll just take your word for it. I am the caretaker of our toddler, but due to this pregnancy, I was told to take it really easy and not lift anything, including my toddler. With my husband away, all of the care would be on me, and it would be very difficult to take it easy. We have recently moved to another continent and have no social network or backup in place. He would be away for 10 days total, which I think is too long. He would be 2 flights away, of total of 15 hours in the air, excluding layover. 32-week mark will be an emotional time for me, as that's when our first child was born. Okay. I'm at a higher risk of getting pre-something-something, and last week's blood test showed heightened values. Nothing concerning yet, but something to keep checking up on. The event will be at a destination famous for its party scene. Ooh, Ibiza? There will be a lot of alcohol and whatnot involved, making a potential emergency flight home impossible. I feel this is inconsiderate and irresponsible considering the situation. Although I don't want to be the one telling him he can't go, I have mentioned to him that I feel uncomfortable with him going on this trip. He says he feels bad for going but does not consider canceling. Am I the asshole for making him feel bad for going on this trip, or is he the asshole for putting this trip over his wife and children's well-being? Okay, from the perspective of someone who doesn't have kids and never will have kids, you're the asshole because your husband's just trying to enjoy his life. But I guess there's a point when you're an adult and you have kids that you kind of have to give that all up and be boring and miserable all the time. So I'm gonna say not the asshole, husband's the asshole. He didn't even bother to have a plan in place to help you with the lifting. If he goes, what's the plan? Who cares for you while you're in the hospital? Who has say over your care if you happen to remain unconscious? Who cares for you if you deliver? Obviously, he doesn't give a shit about you or your children. Divorce him now. This is a red flag. That's just Reddit. Take that party money to cover the needed help. It's all expenses paid, though, so I'm assuming he didn't pay for it. What the fuck is wrong with your husband? Not the asshole. I mean, he has a kid and he probably doesn't want to have a kid, so he wants to go enjoy his life. Curious what continent they moved to, like Saudi Arabia. Not the asshole. If your husband is old enough to be a husband and a father, he's old enough to put his wants aside and focus on his duties to you, to your toddler, and to your as yet unborn baby. Exactly. So I would never have kids, and I would not want to put myself in a situation where I don't get to have fun. But when you're an adult and you have kids and you have those kind of responsibilities, your life just sucks. It's just how it is. I'm sorry to tell you. I tell all the people that I know that have kids, I'm like, I'm sorry your life sucks and you don't get to have fun, but you know, maybe in 40 years you'll get to have fun again. Who knows? So yeah, not the asshole, husband's the asshole here. Yada yada yada. Just kind of a weird situation. Am I the asshole for calling my wife an asshole? Okay, wait a minute. This is Exhibit, is that you? Yo dog, we heard you like assholes. So a couple months ago, my daughter and I went on a daddy-daughter camping trip. Oh, that sounds fun. My wife was supposed to come, but she had her period. Ugh, women, am I right? So she didn't come. We had a great time, and when we came back, my wife was disappointed that she missed out. She insisted on going camping, so we booked for the same place for today. We timed it so she wasn't in hey period. Well, as we're all getting ready to leave, my wife decides she doesn't want to come anymore. I get super upset and said this whole trip was planned because she wanted to. I spent the last couple days getting supplies ready. He chopped firewood and he made a wooden axe and everything. And everything that she says that she doesn't want to go because she's on a roll with cleaning and organizing the house. Let her go, man. Just go on the trip by yourself. Let her clean and organize the house. Holy cow. What a golden opportunity. This is a trip I've been looking forward on going with as a whole family. So I call her an asshole for canceling last minute and not letting me know earlier that she had no intention of going the past few days. She says I'm the asshole for not being understanding of what she wants to do. Edit. I started responding to some comments, but then I saw there were hundreds and, not gonna lie, too much energy to expend. Oh, but you got energy to post on Reddit. Okay, all right, buddy. For those of you who say she's cheating or something, honestly not something I can control. From reading this sub a lot, cheater's gonna cheat, oh well. I'm typing this up as my daughter and I are just waking up in the tent. We're going to enjoy daddy-daughter camping trip 2.0 and let mom do whatever she wants. Let her clean and organize the house, man. Not the asshole, but your wife is sure being one. The clean and organize thing, though, that's really sticking out to me. If my wife said, I'm gonna clean and organize the house, go on a camping trip by yourself, I would be like, yes, ma'am. I will get the hell out of here. I had also come home early to make sure there wasn't a mysterious car/truck in the driveway. Yeah, okay. She says I'm an asshole for not being understanding of what she wants to do. A quote from the post. The extra trip literally was for her because she was bummed about missing the last trip. Something deeper may be going on here. Okay. My mom used to do something similar. Family trip. We'd have everything organized and ready to go. She'd say, y'all go without me. Nope, get it together. We're going. She'd pout, then she'd start supervising and dictating. It was being in control. Being cajoled or the center of attention. Eventually we said, okay, fine. I don't know that I quite understood that, but you go, dude. Not the asshole, but I'm suspicious about what is making your wife cancel her participation in trips that you and the kids take from home all weekend. All right, so we have some cheating suspectness here. We have some potential imposters. Very sus. I find every reason I can to not clean the house. My ex cleaned the house as a hobby. Why is that person your ex? Don't let them go. All right, I think we get the idea. Wife's kind of an asshole, but like, she doesn't want to go, she doesn't want to go. If she's gonna cheat, she's gonna cheat. That's how this works. What, are you gonna come home early and confront her? Like, oh my gosh, are you cheating? Like, whatever, man. Am I the asshole for telling my dad and his wife that her kids are not my brother and sister and my mom's kids, and that's why they don't get included? But wait, what? Am I the asshole for telling my dad and his wife? Okay, so this guy's dad has remarried, so he has a new wife. They have kids. Those kids are not OP's brother and sister. They're not my mom's kids, and that's why they don't get included by us. Okay, let's read for context. My parents divorced when I was 16. Oh no, when I was 4. Okay, this OP is 16 now. My dad married Becca when I was 7 and stepped up to be dad to her kids, who at the time were 3 and 5. My dad tried to ban the word step from our house. Maybe for good reasons in this day and age. What are you doing, step bro? Okay. For a good 3 years, he told me I shouldn't call Becca my stepmom or her kids my step siblings. He said I should call her mom some other mom variant, but her kids were my brother and sister, period. Becca also chimed in on this shit. I don't know if that's shit, I mean. She told me countless times that I was her kid's brother and therefore my mom should be expected to be more involved with them. Okay. My mom, who I lived with half the time, but now I live primarily with her, was expected to buy them gifts and invite them over to our house and treat them like part of her family. That's a little weird. She was expected to call them my brother and sister and I guess act like they were her stepkids versus her ex-husband's stepkids. To me, they've always been step-siblings. Becca's my dad's wife or stepmom. Though stepmom to me is more of a close title since my friends who use that are close to their stepparents, lol. I'm not close to Becca or my dad. I ended up choosing to stay with my mom, more with my mom, because I could not handle Dad and Becca constantly bringing her kids' inclusion at my mom's up to and around me. Okay. They would either talk to me about it or would corner my mom at exchanges in front of me. My mom would always try to minimize contact, but my dad and Becca made it a point to be present at the moment I would get to my mom's house or car. My mom is significantly better off financially compared to my dad and Becca. Oh ho ho. Buried the lead there. I always assumed it's why they push the idea of my mom buying them gifts and including them in her life has been such a big push. They know I have stuff Becca's kids will never get, and they know I get cool experiences. The last time my dad and Becca brought it up, I got mad. I had already told them to stop countless times in the past, told them to leave my mom alone and leave me out of it. I told them Becca's kids were not my brother and sister, they're my step siblings. I was going to keep using step regardless of how much they like it. I also said they're not my mom's kids, therefore not included by her when she has me. I said they needed to get over that fact, that they can't demand my mom buy gifts like she has 3 kids or open her home like she has 3. That she has just me, and by demanding shit, they are making shit toxic as fuck. All right, come on, dude. I think the point that got them the most mad was saying they are not my brother and sister. They have always been big on step being exclusionary. To me, it's just true though. No hard feelings towards Becca's kids, but step siblings is how I see them. Am I the asshole? No. I don't know if there's any assholes here. I mean, we're getting the worst point of view on his dad and his stepmom, right? Like, Becca, she's like, but it just seems like the dad wants his son to be cool with the stepson and daughter. He's like, look, we don't use step around here. We're all, you know, we're one big happy family. Obviously, the son is not going along with that. He's 16. What do you expect? The gift thing is a little weird. Let's see what the hive mind has to say. Not the asshole. It is wrong of your dad and stepmother to use you to manipulate your mother into claiming her ex's stepchildren, especially when you were younger. They should never have put you in that situation. Also, it is wrong for them to expect your mother to see their children as hers. It may seem unfair that the others have less than you, but life isn't fair. Yeah, okay, here's a good response. Opie's dad and stepmom have some whacked logic. They chose and created the step family situation, but refused to take responsibility for it, thinking they could mandate it away. By the way, many people make blended families work great. Stepmom chose to create 2 children. Dad chose to be their parent too. Opie's mom has no choice. Due to no decision she made, she's manipulated into being a mother to 2 additional children. Exclamation point, question mark. Opie also was given no choices when he was young, which is sad. His feelings, the reality of his feelings, were not given any consideration. Glad he's asserting them now, not the asshole. All right. Hex says, you have no obligation toward your ex's new spouse. Absolutely. I think that seems like the thing. Father's the asshole. And Rilip says, I feel like you need to be a little clear-eyed and recognize after 10 years the Brady Bunch shtick isn't working. It's not even really a Brady Bunch shtick. It's like, hey, ex-wife, these are also your kids. It's just, that's super weird. Like, it's not, she made no, there was no effort on her part to be involved in the new family unit that was created. Like, I can understand saying, okay, son, this is your new mom. You can call her stepmom, you can call her Becca, whatever. These are your stepbrother and stepsister. I hope you guys all get along. I know it's a little weird. But trying to, like, ban the word step, that's the reality of the situation. Stepbrother, stepsister, that's how it works. Why don't people just refuse to speak to their exes like normal people? I don't know. It's not, if you have kids involved, it's not quite as clear cut as that. Ex-wife divorced father for it doesn't specify. We don't know who initiated the divorce. I mean, typically it's going to be the woman, right? It's like, oh, he's such a pig. All right. Let's see. Not the asshole. I know from experience that blending families is hard. They handled it wrong. The way to make blended families work is to make all children feel loved and heard equally and facilitate bonding, not forcing anything. They put so much focus on trying to get you and mom to buy them thing, which is weird, and forcing her into the family despite whatever her own wishes were. And they didn't do anything to make you feel like you were they didn't make you feel like you feel comfortable like it was a second home. My dad had a girlfriend who also had 2 daughters, and they wanted my sister and me to call them sisters. It seemed a bit much right off the bat, but not wanting to rock the boat, I went with it. They wanted a blended family, but their mom did not. Okay. He would tell her what time we could arrive on Christmas, or she would tell us what time parties were, and whenever we would arrive to said gathering, it would already be half over. What the hell? My dad would buy them. This is like a whole separate post. We're not going to read that. Not the asshole, but I'm left wondering if they're your father's bio children and why he and his wife feel so comfortable pushing them on you and your mother. So yeah, I don't think they're half siblings. And okay, yeah, the money aspect here. So that's just a weird situation. We're gonna go with dad's the asshole. Am I the asshole for emailing the video of someone catcalling me to their job? Okay. All right. I was walking home from the bar Saturday night, and some guy in a truck rolled down his window and catcalled me. I took out my phone and started filming, but I used the super wide-angle camera with my phone pointed down and him just in the corner so he couldn't see I was filming. I don't say anything, but he calls out again about my nice ass. I get irritated and go, "What did you just say to me?" But I also start walking away because I realized it was risky to engage with him. He says, "Hey, wait up." And I said, "What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do to me?" Trying to gauge the risk if I just cut and run. He says, "Nothing, I just want to talk." Come on, man. Does this actually work? And it really hits me that I am doing a damn stupid thing, drunkenly engaging with the stranger, and I just leave at full bore sprint and head home. He drives away when I run down an alley. I step in a puddle and wet my sneakers and yell out in surprise as I run. I ran home and went to bed, and the next morning I watched the start of the video back and realized I'd seen that truck before. It was always around my last workplace. This is like a freaking movie plot. Come on. I screenshot the guy's face and texted it to a group chat with my old coworkers and asked if they knew the guy. One said, "Yeah, that's Al. He joined the team after you quit." I didn't watch more than the first few seconds. Honestly, it was anxiety inducing to rewatch. That's a bit of a weird coincidence. I emailed the video to my old boss, whom I'm on very good terms with, saying I got catcalled and followed when I was walking home at night by this guy who I later found out works for him. And I suggested he and the company take steps to look out for women's safety. I attached the video but didn't watch the whole thing back before sending it. I found out shortly that the guy was fired on the spot when he came into work. I heard from my old work group chat because they were asking me if I'd been involved. They were saying I'd framed him in a video and made stuff look worse than it was. What was I gonna say here? This is a r/that happened. I watched the video back at that point, and honestly, it did look worse on video since it was windy and only my side of the conversation was picked up on the mic. Without context, it looks like him says something indistinct. Me, what did you say to me? Him, indistinct. What are you gonna do to me? I sprint away. The next 3 minutes of video are me sprinting, swinging the camera wildly and gasping for breath, then reaching my apartment, letting myself in a rushed fumble, and then finally turning off the camera. So she didn't even watch the whole video back. I think she said that before she sent it. This is ridiculous. But yeah, that definitely looked worse. It wasn't great that he was catcalling me and trying to get me to talk, but on that video, it looked like he put the fear of God into me with something he said. I felt conflicted. I think what he did anyway was shitty and kind of scary, but what the video looks like is even worse. I don't know if I should clear up what happened with my old boss after he was already fired or just leave it be. Am I the asshole for getting that guy fired? Okay, I'm not gonna read all this. Not the asshole. He commented on you in a sexual way and said he wanted to talk. That's scary as fuck. I guess. I'm not a lady. I'm sure it's different. I don't know. Okay, so here's how I've always been told to imagine it as a guy. Like, imagine you're a guy and every other guy is gay and they're also bigger than you. That's probably not a great in this day and age to use that as an example, but I guess it might work for people who are homophobic because, you know, that the assumption is if gay guys just don't care whether the other guy is gay or not. All right. Said he wanted to talk. Okay. Not the asshole. He got himself fired. Not the asshole. Wow, the stupid avatars. I'm sorry that happened to you, and I'm sorry you were second guessing yourself. You sent in the video to your old boss because your experience with that man made you believe that your old workplace needed to take steps to protect women's safety because of his presence as an employee there. They took appropriate steps and removed the potential problem. Catcalling someone and following them in a vehicle at night is not normal or mild behavior. It's completely unacceptable and speaks volumes about his character. I agree. I think he got exactly what he deserved, and the people on your old work group chat need to take a long, hard look at themselves if they don't think that was the appropriate reaction, whether it looked worse on camera or not. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I would have watched the whole video first and been like, oh, looks a little scarier than it really is. Like, maybe I can just edit it or something. Am I the asshole for not accepting my mother-in-law's advice? No, you're never the asshole for that. Brilliv says, not the asshole. You didn't fire him. Boss might be an asshole. It's the boss's problem. Yeah. I mean, yeah, don't catcall people in the middle of the night. That's just... I don't know. I don't know how old this guy was. Maybe he's in his 40s or 50s and it was okay back when he was a kid, but I don't think it was. I don't think it's ever been acceptable. It's always been kind of called out. Am I the asshole for not accepting my mother-in-law's advice? I, 29, was 5 months pregnant when I was involved in a car accident while going for my regular checkup. It was really bad, which resulted in multiple internal injury, fracture right hand, blah, 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 and had a miscarriage. All right, there you go. So we got a control-alt-delete type situation. It really messed up my brain, but as I decided to stay strong since my husband was really depressed. 1 month later, when I got discharged from the hospital, I came to know that I was infertile since my fallopian tube was injured in the accident. That's a little specific. This really got to me. I was really angry at him for not telling me this earlier, but he was too scared because I was in really rough shape. Now my mother-in-law sympathized with me around our relatives, but a week after, when we were alone in my room, she started venting at me for being too weak. Too weak, chat. Wrong kind of weak. And that I am disgrace to this family since I can't give them a child. Holy, yep. I was already feeling really low, but now I'm starting thinking it would have been better if I died in that accident. Jesus Christ. A few days later, after being continuously called a disgrace, I consulted my doctor about any chances of me being pregnant again. She replied saying that I can go for either surgery of my tube or go for IVF, test tube baby, and that she said my body is too weak now for any of them, and if I really want a baby, I should either adopt one or go for surrogacy. Yeah, run. Run away. The mother-in-law is crazy. I really don't like the idea of surrogacy, and my mother-in-law will instantly reject the idea of adoption because of genetics and all that. How is that different with the surrogate? Still, I discussed it with my husband. While I was telling him about all this, my mother-in-law overheard us and told me to go for surrogacy. I told her that I don't want to since I'm really afraid that if it lead to another miscarriage, I would straight up go insane and never be able to get up again. She called me selfish and again a disgrace to our family, this time in front of my husband. Am I the asshole for not going for surrogacy? I had a heart-to-heart with my husband an hour ago. This is an edit. After my mother-in-law went to sleep, when I asked if he can work from home, he instantly agreed to it, saying that even his senior were telling him to take a few days off or work from home. He told me that he was searching for therapy lessons all this time. When I asked him about my mother-in-law, he straight up apologized and said he will send her home since we are in desperate need of spending some personal time together. This really made me happy. Okay. Not the asshole. Time for mother-in-law to be kicked out of your life permanently, and if your husband doesn't back you up on this, he needs to go too. Yeah, I think... yeah, that sounds about right. I'm glad the husband is a little more understanding. Am I the asshole for telling my sister her Disney obsession is embarrassing and she needs to grow up? And it has an asshole tag. We've got ourselves a jackpot here. One of my sisters is obsessed with all things Disney. All things Disney? Or just the fun parts? When we were kids, she couldn't get enough of the movies, but she never grew out of it. Every year since she finished nursing school, her annual vacation is Disney related. Disneyland, Disney World, Disney cruises, Disney parks in other countries, Disney sandwiches, fried Disney, chicken fried Disney, except for the last 3 calendar years because of the coronavirus, of course. Her scrubs for work have Disney characters. That would make some sense if she worked in a children's hospital or with kids, but she's only ever worked in nursing homes. Rilip says, I could tell you're the asshole from the title. Let people enjoy things they want to enjoy and shut the fuck up. Yeah, agreed. She has some Disney stuff, but her house isn't overtaken like some of the fanatics I've heard about online. Hold on. Let me see. Pete, you've heard about people online? This I gotta see. Woman addicted to Disney collectibles. All right, show me the article. Okay. So this is not... Get out of here, Miss Cleo. Yes, accept all, whatever. Meet the woman addicted to Disney collectibles. An exasperated British man identified only as Graham has appeared on an American reality TV show in a bid to curb his wife's obsessive Disney hoarding. He told the show enough was enough, asking them to help him out of his own personal Disney hell. When it's shoved down your throat every day, it's a bit tiring, he tells the show. So we have a bunch of little... Oh, that's Who Framed... That's the Roger Rabbit. Okay, and a bunch of little Mickey Mouses, I think. Wait, is this their actual bed? Little Mermaid bedspread? That's actually kind of based. I would go for that bedspread. Now, all this, like the little Barbies and dolls and stuff. What character is this? His wife, known to her friends as Disney Claire, I wonder why, has obsessively collected Disney memorabilia for years now and admits her collection has gotten a little bit out of hand recently thanks to a recent fad for collecting Vinylmation figures. She says she now has 2,092 of the distinctive Mickey Mouse shaped dolls dotted around the house. I generally think people think I'm a little bit nuts, confesses Claire. I mean, the house looks clean aside from all the Disney crap. This poor guy. That's too much. Claire's collection began to encroach on Graham's personal office, so he decided to call in the show. So you're telling me if I have a hoarder wife, I can just call in the show and they'll fix it? Graham's office before the cleanup and after. Oh, that looks so much better. Look, he's got a Perry the Platypus. See, that's okay. You can have a Perry the Platypus and a little stormtrooper. Story continues. No, it doesn't. It's over. Do I want the Ariel bedspread for my birthday? Ask Emmykins, and the answer is no. I think we're good. Okay, so let's see. She has some Disney stuff, blah, blah, blah. If she could afford it, she would already live in California or Florida instead of Louisiana. Oh, she lives in Louisiana? That sucks. She's already booked a Disney trip for next year, hoping the pandemic won't cancel it. She's turning 50 next year, and it's weird for a single woman with no kids to be into Disney and go on those vacations alone. I had hoped her having to skip her Disney trips would force her to grow up and maybe move on from the obsession, but it hasn't, and instead she's going on her 25th Disney vacation, as she says. I told her that her obsession is weird and needs to stop, and she needs to grow up. She's almost 50, for crying out loud. I'm not the only one in my family that feels this way, but my sister doesn't want to listen. She just argues about it. It's weird, and there's a million other things she could do on vacation that aren't Disney themed. Am I the asshole? I just told it like it was. Yeah, if you say I just told it like it was, you're the asshole. Her vacation preferences harm you how exactly? Yeah, exactly. Well, 25 vacations over 25 years, presumably. So, I mean... She lives in Louisiana, so her rent's like $500 a month probably, and she's a nurse, so she can afford it. I used to share a cubicle with someone childless whose whole life was Disney. More than 100 figurines, posters, memo pads. Her wedding and vacations were Disney themed. So what? She was bright, honest, kind, and a hard worker, and yes, she lived a joyful life. You're the asshole? If there was a super asshole category, you would be in it? Nursing and working in a nursing home is really hard and emotional work under normal circumstances. Doing it through things like COVID-19, Hurricane Katrina, and other disasters is even harder. Disney makes her happy, and that's fine. It's not your money or your time, and you aren't forced to go on those vacations. It's none of your business what someone else enjoys if they aren't hurting anyone. And, well, I mean, it's hurting her emotionally that her sister is such a child. And who cares if she wears Disney scrubs? They probably brighten her colleagues, and the home residents' day. You mentioned that she's been employed the last 27 years, so it's obviously not a problem. You are definitely the asshole here. Nurses are grossly underpaid. That's true. They are. Wait a minute. Am I the asshole for ordering takeout? I'm gonna say probably not, but let's see. Oh, this is a long one. That's not that long. My wife's 2 nieces and nephews are staying with us and our 2 kids overnight while their parents celebrate their anniversary. Okay, my wife's 2 nieces and nephew. All right, so 3 kids staying with us and their 2 kids overnight while wife's brother or sister-in-law, whatever. I don't know. My wife had to work late today, so I was on my own with all 5 kids. I was a little unenthusiastic about double the cooking and double the dishes, so I pulled up a local burger place on DoorDash and asked all the kids what they want. I left the oldest in charge when I picked up the burgers, less than 20 minutes total. The kids had burgers and fries for dinner, and then I got everyone washed up and in bed. There was still some cleaning to do, messy kids, but no dishes, so that was nice. When wife got home, she asked if there were leftovers, and I apologized there weren't, and offered to throw something together for her. She asked what I made the kids. I said we had takeout. Wife was annoyed because, 1, I was lazy and should have made her nieces and nephew a home-cooked meal because that's what her brother and his wife would do for our kids. Okay, so what? 2, I left the kids alone when I picked up the takeout. 3, I didn't make them eat something healthy. And 4, I didn't think about what she would eat when she got home. Oh my gosh, that's so many reasons. My counter argument is a little takeout once in a while is NBD, which stands for no BD. The kids were alone for 20 minutes. The burgers weren't McDonald's and had some healthy stuff like pickles. They had pickles on them. That's a vegetable, technically. And it was so late, I assumed she'd already eaten at the office. I offered to make her a sandwich, but she just went to bed in a huff. Am I the asshole? Edit 1. I got rid of nibbling. Can we stop hyper-focusing on that word now? I don't like the word nibbling. I think it's lame. A mature discussion would help, says X. Yeah, well, what is a mature discussion here? Like, listen, it was late. I'm a guy. I don't know how to cook. I went and got him burgers from the burger place. What do you want me to do? This wasn't fast food. It was a nice boutique burger place. Well, excuse me, Mr. Fancy Pants. Some of us don't have boutique burger places. I don't know why y'all project your relationship dynamics onto my family. My wife works full time. She isn't the primary caretaker for the kids. She only cooks on weekends. I do all the dame time stuff and we work together in the evenings, except for when she works late and I do them myself. I always cook on weeknights. The reason I didn't want to cook when the nieces and nephews were here is because 3 extra kids meant a lot of extra dishes. It wasn't because I didn't want to cook. I just didn't want to deal with the extra mess. Yeesh. Info. How old are the kids? Oldest daughter's 10, youngest is 6. Nibblings are blah, blah, blah. Seems a bit young to be left alone with 4 younger kids. Wait a minute. 10 is way too young to be in charge of siblings and cousins. Wait till you find out about the latchkey kids in the 80s. Yeah, really. A little ridiculous. If she went to bed in a huff, she wasn't that hungry. Yeah. Yeah, when people are passive aggressive like that, you just have to call their bluff. Be like, oh, I guess you weren't that hungry, then no big deal. You're the asshole regarding getting the kids takeout. If it was a daily thing, then sure. Or no, not the asshole regarding getting the kids takeout. You're the asshole for leaving a 10-year-old with 4 kids for 20 minutes rather than paying a few dollars for delivery. Come on, max is like $5. You're the asshole for not getting something for your wife. I've seen a lot of responses regarding the max $5 for blah, blah, blah. Okay, don't care. Didn't ask. I was going to say you're the asshole pending age. I see the eldest was 10. You're the asshole just for that. Spend the extra and get it delivered, dude. As far as a home-cooked meal, healthy burger, kids are gonna eat burgers sometimes. I bet they were thrilled. Cool Uncle OP got us burgers. Let's see. Not the asshole for takeout. Well, okay. So, looks like it's split. Not the asshole for the takeout. You're the asshole for leaving the kids alone. Ooh, all this talking. Okay. Am I the asshole for telling my twin brother not to accept rent money from our parents while they're also supporting me? Okay. My brother and I, 26, are identical twins, but opposites. Oh, so they're like, crap, what's the movie with the twins? I want to say Parent Swap, but I think that's something else. The Parent Trap, that's what it is. The Parent Trap. Growing up, I tried to have a closer relationship, but he would avoid me and pretend he was an only child. These days, we almost never talk. Our stepdad, 51, married our mom when we were 5, and they've been accepting supportive parents. I'm a PhD student. He's a doctor, and his brother's unemployed. Find out what happens when these two get together. They're twins of a different feather. Okay, my degree is fully funded, blah, 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 blah. My brother had no steady job. He was suspended from college and never went back. Sometimes he makes a few $100 by helping people move. Otherwise, he spent 6 years lifting weights and picking up men from apps or fetish websites to have loud, kinky sex in our parents' house. Why is that important? A month ago, our mom rented an apartment for him because he said he was sick of living at home and it was unfair they paid for my place. The problem is my dad can't keep supporting 4 adults on his income. Mom's never worked. He makes a good 6-figure salary, but this is in California, where you burn through money just by being alive. It's like that everywhere. While I was home for the weekend, Mom said she may have to start withdrawing from retirement savings to pay for monthly expenses. I said, but the only new expense is brother's rent. She said it would make a big difference. Oh boy. Last night, our parents left after Father's Day dinner to grab drinks with friends. Oh, they're running out of money, but they can afford to go have drinks with friends in California. That's like $20 a drink. My brother and I cleaned up the kitchen before I also left. He was talking about his apartment and he asked why I was being so quiet. I ended up saying it was irresponsible for him to accept rent money and he should find work or move back in. He responded angrily saying I'm a hypocrite because our parents pay my rent. My rent too. I said it was different, not only because my life is 50 miles from home and his new crib is 3 minutes drive away, but because I'm actually doing something with my life. I don't think a career in academia is noble or anything, but at least it's a path to a future. My brother left and messaged our mom with his version of events. Wait, how old are they're both 26? Our mom called today to yell about how my brother was right and I'm a hypocrite with no right to tell him not to accept help. She said I should quit my PhD and get a job if I was so worried. Now our dad is furious with mom for telling me to quit school. It seems obvious to me that he doesn't even want to support my brother like this, especially because my brother and parents don't even speak since he moved out, but dad feels like he doesn't have a choice. Oh boy. Hex says, I'm gonna call, we only hear one side of the argument on this one. That's... So, right, I forgot to lay down the rules. Rule number 1, everything is real. Rule number 2, it happened the way that they say it happened. We have to accept this because otherwise, you know, the whole situation just falls apart. All right. Too long didn't read. Oh, we could have skipped the whole thing. I just read that. Am I the asshole for telling my brother not to accept rent money from my parents while they're currently paying my rent? Blah, 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 lots of edits. Hi, OP. Lots of harsh people on here. It sounds like you need time to sit with this new piece of information before settling on your feelings and if you want to take any actions. Okay. Oh, wait, hang on. I agree with this. I understand what you're going through. It's a slippery slope indeed when you're the responsible child in the family, and it's very hard not to build resentment toward the other sibling that is irresponsible and somehow gets away with it. That is so true. This is an issue that very well may go past finances. As the responsible child in my family, my parents sat me down and asked me to sign their wills and agree to being responsible for both of them as their healthcare proxy and manage their affairs when they die. I will be alone in this task and also left as the holder of my sister's finance inheritance as she is deemed too irresponsible to look after the money herself. All right, well, we're not going to read this whole thing, but yeah, it's hard being the responsible sibling. False equivalency much? One is working on his education, will be done at some reasonable point in the future. One is fucking around but has yet to find out he has no plan for the future or becoming self-sufficient. I don't understand how everyone in the comments is saying they're exactly the same. These two were in very different spaces, and sure, maybe we didn't need to hear about brother's kinky habits, but honestly, I bet OP didn't want to know about them either. So yeah, I don't know. I would say not the asshole, but it's like, it's your parents' money. If they want to dig into their retirement savings to fund his kinky lifestyle, then that's on them. Am I the asshole for not letting the marathon cyclists cut through my land as they've been doing for years? That doesn't sound very interesting. Hold on, wait. Okay, my husband and I bought a home with 15 acres 4 months ago. On our land, we have 2 gates on either side of the field. It was once used for farming, and it's a good distance from my actual house, probably about 4 acres. Acres is a unit of area. It's not a unit of distance. That doesn't make any sense. Last week, we received a mail notice with a reminder to open both gates for the upcoming bike marathon thing they apparently have every year, to allow access to the cyclists to cut through to get back to the main road. Neither me or my husband are okay with this. Why? I don't want a bunch of cyclists on my property. Okay. As it is, we already can't do anything that day because our whole street is blocked off. Not only that, but this was not mentioned in the sale of the home either. If any of these people were to get hurt on my land, I would be deemed responsible, and it's not something I was willing to accommodate to. Yeah, okay, I can already tell you're the asshole. So I go to town hall and tell them a property was not going to be used as a shortcut for cyclists, blah, blah, blah. It was argued this is how things have been for 6 years, and it would take far too much time to map out a different route. I told them it's not my problem. We kept the gates closed. A lot of them still showed up and got pissed that the gate was closed. I was outside doing gardening, and one of the cyclists started berating me for not having it open, stating I was a selfish Karen, and stated, "Look at me, afraid of bikes. Let me be." Oh, okay, I'm not going to say that. I told them it's not my problem. It's your property, not the city's, not the asshole. Edit. Not the asshole. Forgot, given how not your problem. Okay. Let's see. The city shouldn't be relying on private property for an event like that. 6 whole years. It's only been 6 years. Not the asshole. Make sure you have no... Jeez. I mean, she sounds like a Karen, but I guess she's in the right at least. I would say asshole is, but not wrong. As you clearly stated, if one of the bikers got hurt on their property, you'd be liable. This is something US read her to say a lot, but is it really true? Could a US-based lawyer respond on this? I have trouble believing this whole, if someone somehow gets on your property and hurts themselves, you are liable bit. It certainly isn't true in Europe. Okay. The issue is you still have to defend yourself from the lawsuit, even if you're in the right. But you don't have to do it. Your insurance company has to do it. All right. Well, that's kind of a weird one. You know what? That's how you know it's real, because it's so weird and it's dumb that it has to be real. 1 acre is 10 square chains. Well, there we go. So we know it's at least 20 square chains away. Wait, no. 20 chains. Assuming that 4 acres is 2 by 2. I guess it could be 1 by 4, in which case it would be 40 chains. Am I the asshole for telling the police my brother robbed me and took my car? No. Unless he didn't. Okay, so I, 32, hey, that's me, have a little brother Kyle. I don't have a little brother Kyle. We did not get along quite well when we were younger, but not much now. We manage each other. For now, he lives in my basement because he can't afford a house. Man, you fucked up. Don't let him live in your basement. He can afford a car. He fucked up his car and he took it to get repaired. I've offered him to use my car because I can just bike to work. Oh, okay. So, you know, I only let him use it for 2 days until his car was fixed. That was a week ago. He keeps using my car when he has his own. I needed to pick up my daughter, 6, and my son, 4, because their school had a leak that they found last minute. So I went to go get my car. I phoned my brother to bring the car back. He says, I'm using a wait your turn. Oh boy, this wasn't the first time he's done this. I took his car to get the kids. When I got back, I phoned the police saying my brother stole my car. Gave them all the details. They found him at a McDonald's. They asked if I want to press charges. I said not now, but if it happens again, I will. Got back to my house, yelled, and he yelled at me with my kids behind me. I told him to go to the basement. Get down to your cell. He took my car multiple times. Not the asshole. Your brother sounds like a leech, and I would recommend kicking him out of your house if he can't follow simple rules like using his own car. This is a weird situation because, first of all, he called the police and said his car was stolen, which it wasn't. His brother was authorized to use the car. This would be a civil matter, I think. The police probably shouldn't have done anything. And the fact that they asked if you want to press charges, like what, you got him on Grand Theft Auto and you're just going to bring him home? Come on. It's a little far-fetched. Hex says you can always rely on human stupidity. Yeah, why is the brother using his car anyway? That's so dumb. Oh, here we go. Okay. We're gonna have a special guest here soon, but let's pop over to the next one here. Am I the asshole for telling my current stepmother that she's a bad parent and I preferred my previous stepmom? Okay. Now this is some family court here. In my opinion, you're the asshole. Have you seen the way cops escalate things? I don't even call the cops on people when I'm pretty sure they're breaking the law unless somebody's life is in danger. Yeah, really. The whole thing just seems so, like, 1990s movie. Like, do you want to press charges? That's not how that works. I don't know. If maybe there's a lawyer in the chat, maybe they can say something. All right. Yes, my dad is as messy as the title suggests. My dad is as messy as the title suggests. Sure, whatever. My mother passed and my father remarried Sandy afterwards. I love Sandy, and although she'll never replace mom, she was still a fantastic mother to me. She never made me feel unloved, was totally involved in my life. Okay. It seems like they're setting up something else there, but then there's just a parenthetical thing there. Okay. My father ended up divorcing Sandy to date and eventually marry his much younger coworker, Michelle. And it honestly devastated me and Sandy. Thankfully, I'm old enough to be able to choose to stay in touch with Sandy, and we've continued to maintain a great and close relationship. That is wonderful. What a cool thing. On to the issue. During a recent family lunch, my cousin asked me how Sandy was, and I could tell that it totally pissed Michelle off. Just to be clear, it wasn't like I was gushing on and on about Sandy. Just the standard, oh, she's great, she just got back from vacation and I'm getting lunch with her next week kind of update. Michelle tried to make some snarky remarks about how Sandy wasn't my mom anymore, to which I vehemently disagreed. I can totally admit that I got a little rude and told Michelle that if she couldn't even take care of her puppy, she definitely had no right to call herself a mom. Long story short, her puppy got taken away by her sister because it was being neglected, and she has no actual children of her own. Jeez. At that point, Michelle taunted me and said my feelings didn't matter because Sandy wasn't in the picture anymore, and I replied that Sandy will always be my mom and Michelle would never be close to competing. Things at lunch got way awkward after that. No shit, really? My cousins are on my side, but my dad is pissed that I told his hot young wife that she sucks. I've also been getting the cold shoulder from her since I live with them while going to school. Not the asshole. Michelle needs to stay in her own lane. Agreed. All right. Okay, banging your father doesn't make her your mother. Yes, exactly. What else we got? Not the asshole. This took me, a divorced person, a long time to come to terms with. When two people get divorced, the only relationship that is required to end is theirs. Your father and new stepmother have no right to dictate the terms of your relationship with your former stepmother. That includes trying to make you feel bad about continuing a relationship with your former stepmother. New stepmother sounds jealous and insecure, not a good look. Also, not your problem. Plus ratio, plus you're awesome, I don't know. Am I the asshole for losing it and making my stepmom look bad? Probably not. I have 2 sons, a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old. I'm a single mom, and their father is practically a deadbeat. Okay. Anyways, it was my dad's birthday yesterday, and he invited us. Everything was going really well, and my 3-year-old was sitting on my lap when all of a sudden my stepmom tried picking him up. Okay, that's a little weird. I held him down and was like, it's fine, I've got him, but she insisted and kept telling me to go take a break. I said I was fine and that I want my baby. My baby, my baby. But she, just being much stronger than I am, lifted him into her arms. I got really frustrated, and I don't know why, but I just got really teary-eyed. My 4-year-old noticed and started to get upset as well when my 3-year-old became fussy. At this point, I'm begging for her to give him to me, and he's saying he wants me as well. She just kept saying she's only helping and she's older than me and knows how to deal with kids and is more responsible, etc., etc. My dad eventually told her to get off her high horse and give me my kid. She did, but was really upset about it and said that I was being a major drama queen and that I should learn to accept her kindness because not everyone's willing to help out young moms these days. I told her I didn't ask for her help and that I was just fine in that moment, and she told me that I was too attached to my kids. I called her crazy, and she implied that I'm an asshole for making her look bad and losing it when she was only trying to be kind. I think she needs to understand boundaries, but I may have overreacted and she may be right. I am extra sensitive / emotional these days too. Am I the asshole? Let's see. Not the asshole. She took your baby while you both cried for each other. Yeah. She needs to learn how to read the room. That's not all right. Yeah, this is not the asshole. What kind of lacking empathy is to forcefully take kid from mother's arms when they're both absolutely content? Some unnecessary power move. Unfortunately, I see an older generation way too often they act like kids don't have any feelings. You're too attached to your kids. Ease up. Like, let me take your kids from you. Never take a child from a mother when she says, no, you can't hold my child. It's like the basic info, not the asshole. Oh boy. Good stuff. Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend to stop recording dinner because it's annoying? What is she, like an Instagram person? My girlfriend, 33F, and I, 26M, have been together for about 10 years. I'll give a bit of backstory. I'm just kidding. It's only 2 months. Don't get mad at these people. My girlfriend is an absolute gym shark and has pretty good fit. All right, good deal. She also records these workouts and posts them on her social media. All right, so she has an Instagram. She has a whopping amount of followers for being a relatively normal person, meaning she's not a celebrity. About 130,000 followers. You're telling me if I was a gym person, I guess you have to be a lady to get 130,000 followers for that. Most of her videos, yeah, are usually thirsty guys talking about her body, but I bite my tongue because she's with me. She also records lots of videos with me and takes lots of pictures with me and posts them on her social media too. She loves making dancing videos with me too, which I fail horribly. I'm gonna say this girl sounds awesome. You literally alt-tab to talk some trash? What does that even mean? You mean you tabbed back into my stream to talk some trash? I appreciate it. Now back to the story. Okay, good. We're getting back on track here. We went to a pretty nice restaurant and she started taking videos and pictures of me and the food. I didn't mind, but it was getting annoying, so I told her to put her phone up. She said no. And when our entrees got to the table, she started recording live. I told her quietly to turn it off as I didn't want to be eating in front of people live. She laughed thinking I was joking and said I was serious, and I said I was serious. She scoffed and said no. I put her phone with the camera facing down and told her I didn't like being recorded while eating and told her it was annoying. This guy sounds like a buzzkill, but I guess not the asshole. She said she didn't care and told me it's her social media and she can do whatever she wants. Oh, because I implied he was 16. Yeah. Or yeah, I guess. Oh, she's okay. She's older than him. I didn't even catch that. Girlfriend's 33 and he's 26. So she's, I don't know. She's taking advantage of the power dynamic here. I got frustrated and told her it's annoying. Nobody cares what she's eating. She argued with me that it wasn't true and showed me how many views she had. I told her it was just a bunch of thirsty guys. She said it wasn't true and ignored me. Who cares if it's thirsty guys? If thirsty guys watched me, I wouldn't care. She decided to just record herself eating, and we went to dinner without talking, and she was pretty upset. I think I took it too far, but she was being annoying. Hex says, why is it so hard to understand that other people have feelings too? Because some people's feelings are dumb. Like if my girlfriend or wife or whatever was like a smoking hot gym person and had 130,000 followers, I would absolutely let her record my fat ass eating whatever she wanted, because that sounds awesome. But that's just me. This guy, it's his life, it's his relationship. I guess he needs to handle it the way that he wants to. So yeah, not the asshole, but sounds like a real buzzkill. She's dating herself, must be as boring as she sounds. Not the asshole. Boy. Yeah. And let's see. Am I the asshole for threatening my mom's best friend after she ignored me? Wait, threatening how? Oh, with police/court. Okay. Here we go. Yesterday, I had to threaten my mom's best friend with the police/court. For context, we have a dog that we have been caring for. It is my brother's, and he is 2,000 miles away right now and scheduled to come pick her up in August. My mom had the genius idea of giving away the dog because she was sick. What? Turns out they had been feeding her cat food for months straight. I wasn't aware of this since I lived downstairs. I also have 5 other pets I care for just downstairs, so I'm busy a lot. All right, there's too many animals in this situation. My mom lied to me and convinced me she ran away. I didn't believe it fully, but had to since I had no evidence of her being given away. I started poking into the situation, and 2 weeks later found out she gave away her son's dog without permission, with no permission from my father either. Okay. I told my mom she needed to get the dog back, and she immediately said no because her friend's daughter already loves the dog. This isn't fair. My brother has owned that dog for 6 years since a puppy. Yeah, but he's gonna pick the dog up in August? What? It's not his dog if he's not taking care of it. Like, that's a little ridiculous. I told her that, and she said he was only taking care of her for my baby sister. That's complete bullshit because I saw her hand the dog to my brother in 2016 and say it's his as long as he cares for it, which he is not, I would like to point out. Since I was not getting through my mom's head, I texted her best friend and asked for the dog back so goddamn nicely. Ignored. Next day I was so angry that I messaged her saying, we will go to court if you don't give his dog back. She called my mom, and then mom called me telling me to back off. This guy, yeah, this sounds like the asshole. At this point I was fed up. I yelled at my mom, then lied about filing a police report already with an officer. That seemed to work. They gave the dog back to me finally. She's safe in my room. So now what, you got to take care of 6 animals? Ridiculous. I feel so bad and shitty, especially for threatening someone, but my wife is telling me not to since we more than likely wouldn't have gotten the dog back without threatening. Am I the asshole? You're the asshole? Not the asshole. Your mother's horrible, and be sure to tell your brother what she did. Okay, that's the first thing I did when I found out she gave his dog away. Poor guy said he cried and drank all night. This does not sound like a healthy relationship. Can people stop giving away other people's things? Also, can people please stop mistreating their pets? Here's the thing. If somebody leaves something at your house and they say, oh, I'll pick it up in August, and I have to like spend money to take care of this thing, that's not gonna fly. I guess if they had previously agreed, like, sure, son, we'll watch your animal for, 6 months or whatever. But this sounds like a dysfunctional family all around. Am I the asshole for telling my mom if she doesn't kick out my sister, I'm leaving? All right, hang on. I can already see that this is gonna be not something I want to read because the poster is 13, so we're out of here. What would I be the asshole for not babysitting my brother's kids? I think probably not. Am I the asshole for still holding a grudge? No, you're never the asshole if you still hold a grudge. Doesn't matter what it's for, doesn't matter for how long, always hold a grudge. And telling my mom she will be sent to a nursing home while my dad will get the in-law suite. Oh, this sounds good. This is the family court everybody came here for, right? Throwaway account, all right. Didn't ask, don't care. I, 30F, don't have a very good relationship with my mom, 55F. She's vain, superficial, and materialistic. She's a boomer. And I honestly can't understand what my dad, 62, sees in her. I can you the exact moment I stopped caring about mom. It was when I was 13. Oh my God. I had gotten into a horrible accident, and when I was riding my bike and an irresponsible driver hit me, thankfully I survived, but my face had a large scar and it would take cosmetic surgery to fix. As soon as I had recovered, my mom started pushing hard for the cosmetic surgery, but I was just too anxious to go back to the hospital. Thankfully, my dad put his foot down and told my mom that I would only get surgery if and when I was ready, and told me I was still beautiful. Way to go, Dad. To get me to want to have the surgery, my mom would get my brothers and cousins to tease me about my scar, and whenever kids at school gave me a hard time, my mom would simply shrug and tell me I knew what I needed to do in order to get the bullying to stop. Wow, what a bitch. I mean, if I had a friend or like I knew a girl that had a badass scar, I'd be like, whoa, that's so cool. But, you know, maybe that's just me. Because of the type of job my dad had, he was away for multiple days every other week, so he couldn't shield me every time it happened. When he finally learned what my brothers had been doing, he was enraged and threatened divorce when my mom wouldn't support him punishing them, which made my brothers even more angry at me because if I had gotten the surgery, then our parents wouldn't have been fighting. Eventually, I caved and begged my dad to let me get the surgery, and I did. However, during my recovery time, my mom's best friend was getting married, and while the whole family was invited, my mom only took my brothers with her, while my dad stayed to take care of me. Jeez. This horrible, horrible woman. This is nuts. At first, she said it was because I needed my rest, but when I was 17, my mom revealed that I wouldn't be pretty enough for the wedding photos. After that day, I started to resent and even hate my mom. I actually eloped to spite her because I knew how much she fantasized about her moment as mother of the bride. And the only reason I still have any communication with her is because of my dad. Oh man, yeah, not the asshole. Mom is the biggest asshole of all time. My husband and I have now purchased a home, and on the property, there's a small one-bedroom apartment in-law suite. This is where I intend for my father to stay if he ever gets to the point when he's old. When my mom saw the place, she made lots of complaints and said she would require one of the bedrooms in our house. I looked at her and asked why she thought she was going to stay with me and not the cheapest nursing home I could find. My mom was shocked and asked why would I do that to her, and I told her because she's a horrible bitch and I never want to see her again. No, because she was a crappy parent, and unless her sons are going to pamper her in old age, she'll only be one step above a homeless person. Oh, that sounds so sweet. I told you, always hold a grudge, no matter what it's for, no matter for how long. There was a fight. I told her why I felt the way I did, and now people are calling me the asshole for holding on to a grudge, and she's still my mother regardless of her mistakes. Am I the asshole? No, absolutely not. All right. 1, I never told my dad my mom was the one orchestrating the bullying, so I doubt he knows. Well, you'd probably tell him. I never told my dad I found out the real reason my mom didn't bring me to the wedding. Maybe tell him. My parents have a house, but you never know what the future may hold. Okay. My mom will never live with me, but if my dad insisted on still being with her and they couldn't care for themselves completely, I'd pay for them to stay at a decent place. If my dad passed before my mom, the money would stop the day he's declared legally dead. Wow. My brothers aren't bums or irresponsible. However, I do have more money than them and I can provide much better accommodations. My husband's parents are both dead, so that's sadly no issue. Yeah. So, Ritlip says that's how it should have read, referring to me calling her the biggest bitch in the world. Not the asshole. You are not entitled to forgive anyone. I don't think entitled is the word they're looking for. Particularly not someone who hasn't apologized and isn't sorry. If she's still your mother, regardless of her mistakes, then she can act like it and be a real mom. Not the asshole. She hasn't been a mother to you. A parent should love, protect, and care for their kids. She literally did none of that. Oh boy. That's, yeah. So I will always go on record as saying, go for the grudge. Hold that grudge. Don't let it go. And someday, when your parents are old and they come crawling to you for support, and you say no, because you didn't let me stay up as late as I wanted and play video games. And you made me go to school, so you can go live in a van down by the river. Am I the asshole for not letting my sister use my laptop to finish an assignment, which led to her getting a bad grade? 16 and 15 don't care. Am I the asshole for yelling my GF to GTFO? What is this? This sounds so stupid. I've been seeing my girlfriend for 8 months. All right, cool. She comes over a few times a week. We've yet to get into a fight until recently. Whenever I go to the washroom, that's a bathroom for you normal people, she more often than not seems to love letting herself into the bathroom for no reason other than to talk. The bathroom door doesn't have a lock, but it will soon. Why doesn't the bathroom have a lock? That's like the one room that needs to have a lock. I have communicated to her in the past on 2 occasions I don't like it. First time I was pretty cool about it. Second time I was a little more stern. She's done this plenty of times though. Too many to count, but this time I was about 2 minutes into taking a dump and she flew in and started talking about work. Okay, why is she coming in when you're taking a dump? That's like, talk through the door or something. Like, come on. Okay, all right. I told her to get out calmly but sternly. She then later in the day did it again. How many times does this guy take a dump during the day? Before she could speak, I yelled pretty loudly, "Get the fuck out!" To which she jumped at and slammed the door and walked away. By the time I'd wiped my ass and got out, she'd left. She called me later on and explained that I'd scared her really bad and that there's never any reason to raise my voice like that. What is this girl's problem? Who's normal? Wait, who's normal? I've completely lost track. Chats, there's too much stream delay. I don't know what's going on. Not the asshole. Oh my god, this reminded me of that post about mom looking at son's hemorrhoids. What? Is that a post? Can I get a link, please? Some people don't understand that boundaries are healthy and they should exist. Dear Lord, if you two have kids one day, make sure she doesn't end up like that, mom. I read this yesterday and I think that literally caused every reader's mind to just blue screen of death right on the spot. No one remembers anything after that. I honestly was too afraid for the answer to the top comment. Oh, jeez. 8 months, not that critical, man. Just break up. I mean, if that's the one thing she does that's weird, like maybe she was raised in a household where it was normal to walk in on people who were taking a dump and just start having a conversation. Maybe her parents were just like that and she grew up like that. But I guess the fact that she doesn't listen, he needs to sit down and be like, listen, when I'm in the bathroom, that is personal time for me and my butt. And I would appreciate it if you know, let me have my personal time to take a dump. Please do not come in. When I'm peeing, it's okay. That's fine, because I'm only going to be in there for like 10 seconds, 30 seconds or whatever. When I'm pooping, you know, give me some space, give me some time. You probably don't want to come in here anyway because it's going to smell. I don't know. Not the asshole. I think I was pooping at the time is one of the few acceptable reasons to yell at someone to get out. Maybe put a lock on your door though. Boy. Not the asshole. It's very basic manners to not walk into the bathroom when it's in use. Your GF is dead wrong, disrespectful, and more than a little bit nasty. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Definitely. Oh, jeez. That's like the highlight so far of the night. It's short, it's sweet, it's to the point, and yeah, I don't know. I want to hear the other side of that. Am I the asshole for walking in on my boyfriend while he's pooping? I've been seeing my boyfriend for 8 months now. Sometimes he's in the bathroom for a while and I still want to talk to him, so I just go in there. He yelled at me and I left because I was scared. All right, am I the asshole for asking neighbors to hang out elsewhere? Oh boy. Yeah, probably. Am I the asshole for refusing cousin's ask to bring baby to my wedding? Oh, baby free wedding. Let's go. These are golden. I, 27F, am getting married to my partner, 32M soon. We have a baby together. 1. I assume the baby is 1 year old and not they have one baby. Count them one. From the very beginning of when we announced our wedding, since before we postponed, we have been clear that no babies or children are invited to our wedding. All right, child-free wedding. Having our own baby hasn't changed that. We love the bugger, but that I don't think you can say that in the UK. I guess it's all right if this is the US. But that doesn't earn them an invite. We want to drink. We want to listen to music that children shouldn't hear. Yeah, like Post Malone and Lil Baby. We want to swear if it's necessitated by the conversation, and maybe even if it isn't. Ooh. An adult wedding. Some people grumbled initially, but everyone who really wanted to come have agreed to leave their kids home. Oh boy, all right, I better take a drink here. In the last few days, a cousin phoned and asked if he and his wife could bring his baby. We said no. He explained their sitter canceled and all their other normal sitters will be at the wedding. It sucks. Yeah, but we still said no. Clearly, this hasn't been taken well. They started posting on Facebook about how we're against children. Yep. That was mostly ignored by us and by our family. It was childish and annoying, but we didn't want the gloom over our excitement. When their post didn't get us to change our minds, they started going further by saying how we were causing them to lose money, cost of flights, hotels, clothes, and so on. That has caused us some heat from extended relatives. We still didn't change our minds. Then they started the name calling and more whining to my parents and grandparents, and that's when I lost it. People were saying that we should reimburse them for their losses or that we should make an exception for their kid. Oh, this is why I didn't have a wedding chat. Because of people like this. I commented on their Facebook and made my own posts that they didn't buy their flights or lodging. I posted pictures of our text and my receipts. My partner and I paid for most of our out-of-town cousins because we were inviting them to celebrations the few days prior to. Knowing there'd be days off needed and sitters in some cases, we worked it out that we could afford it and offered. We didn't make it known for fear that some would be hurt that we didn't pay for everyone. Now they're saying they're not coming, and neither is my cousin's mother, not related to me by blood, so no big deal. But people are giving them mad crap for it. That said, some people are telling me I should have taken the high road and just let them complain. I think that I did for as long as I could. Maybe I shouldn't have called it out publicly, but he and his wife were calling me out. Am I the asshole? No. Here's the thing. You can be against children. That's not bad. Yeah, right? Just be like, yeah, we don't want children at our wedding. They started posting on Facebook how we're against children. The moment they did this, the situation became unsalvageable. They didn't get their way by talking, so they planned to shame you into capitulation. I'd have given them a very public uninvite for that. Not the asshole. I would have uninvited them for talking crap about me and my wedding on social media like this. You don't need that energy there. And then followed up with, and a child-free wedding is a child-free wedding, not the asshole. Only because it's family, you don't have to invite them, by the way. Yeah. Again, I didn't have like a wedding. I had an awesome, like, super small wedding elopement kind of situation. It was a good time. Am I the asshole for taking a dump all over? No, wait. Am I the asshole for dumping all of my stepsister's used hygiene products in her room? Oh, this sounds gross. I gotta read it. All right, chat. If you're squeamish about tampons and stuff, plug your ears for a couple minutes. I'll let you know. 16M. All right, so we got a teenager. Normally I would skip this because it's a teenager posting, but this sounds awesome. Has 3 sisters, 2 older ones and 1 younger one. I also have 2 moms. So basically, I've been around the menstrual cycle forever. I'm a patented period expert. I'm not an expert. Oh, he's not an expert. But 1, I know they can hurt, and 2, they're pretty gross. My dad recently remarried, and now I have a stepsister. She's pretty gross. She doesn't like to take regular showers and has to be forced to put on deodorant. Hey, I went to basic training with a guy like that. Her room is always dirty, which I don't care, but all in all, she's lazy. My dad's house is set up so that the women get 1 bathroom and the men get another bathroom. That's a good setup. My sister is a perfectionist and everything needs to be cleaned and in a certain order. I swear she has OCD. That's not what OCD is, but okay. Her room spotless and everything is in a certain order. She also does this to the bathroom, everything cleaned and in a certain way. My stepsister and my sister menstrual cycle is lined up. like they get it at the same time. That's not how that works, but okay. Which has caused my sister to go into distress. This because their bathroom only has one trash can, and whenever it's full, instead of my stepsister taking it out, she leaves used products on the ground. Why? Making my sister pick them up and throw out the trash. My sister gets pretty bad cramps. He has 3 sisters and a stepsister. I don't know which sister he's talking about. And sometimes she can't even get up in the morning. She's been rushed to the hospital on multiple occasions because of this. My stepsister never gets them bad. However, she refuses to take the trash out, which, because I feel bad for my sister, I've started taking the trash out. I've gotten pretty annoyed by this, and I told my dad and stepmom about it. My stepmom said that her precious angel has bad period cramps, and I don't know what I'm talking about because I'm a boy. Disgusting, says Philip. Yeah, really. I've gotten pretty annoyed by this, and I told my dad, oh wait, let me swear that one. The other day, I woke up to my sister crying. She was in the bathroom and she let me in. There was menstrual blood on the floor and menstrual products on the floor. I told my sister to lay down while I took care of it and go to use our bathroom. I put on a pair of my stepsister's gloves and grabbed all the products from our bathroom and threw them all over her room. I even dumped a trash bag all over her room. I left a note on her door saying, "Because you seem to miss the trash bag this morning, I left you a reminder in your room. I didn't clean up the blood either." When my stepsister and dad came home, she started screaming. My dad knew it wasn't my sister and he came to me. So I showed him the bathroom. He was disgusted and made my stepsister clean it. She also ended up having to clean our whole bedroom. When my stepmom came home from work, she was mad at everyone, mainly me. She said that I was dramatic and that her daughter cleaned it up, but I had no right to humiliate her. So, am I the asshole? Oh God, I don't know, not really. This sounds gross. I'm so glad I'm a guy. It's just, ugh. Am I the asshole for refusing to apologize to my coworker for telling her off after she told me I needed to talk in English while at work since we live in America? Okay, so we just have a Karen situation. That's boring. Have we seen this one before? No, this is 10 hours ago. Am I the asshole for rubbing my pregnancy in my cousin's face? Oh, this sounds good. Okay. Now let me make sure the music is still going here. There it goes. All right. I, 24F, am 5 months pregnant with my husband. We'll call him Henry. He's 25. And I's first child. We got married 5.5 months ago. So our baby is a honeymoon baby, you could say. Now, this was not our plan. We wanted to be married for 4 or 5 years before having a child. We used condoms and I had an implant in my arm. We initially were a little freaked out. However, as I've been getting further along in the pregnancy, both of us have opened up to the idea of a kid. Now we are both really excited and looking forward to welcoming our baby girl. Rilip says, my mother did the opposite to my stepsister. Her room was a mess, so she put everything in the room into bags and threw it out the window into the yard. That's awesome. And Hex says, passive aggressive, not even good when you're in the right. Yes. Not such a weird way to handle it. Just leave the bathroom. Just be like, this is what my sister had to deal with this morning. There's pads and tampons and they're covered in blood and they're all over the floor. I wouldn't have cleaned it up. I would have just left it. And I've been like, listen, look at this. This is how we have to live now. But again, though, I'm super lazy and wouldn't clean my room, so I don't know. I guess if it got really bad, I would do it, but rather. Okay, my cousin Taylor Swift, I assume, and her husband Liam. Hang on. Liam, that sounds familiar. Liam Hemsworth? Chris Hemsworth's brother? Have been married for 7 years. They've been trying to have a baby for basically the full 7 years. They found out their chances of conceiving naturally were almost 0. Oh, how amazing would that be? That sounds incredible. They are looking into a surrogate. My grandmother just had her 75th birthday. Since it's a big B-day, we had a big family party and a lot of my extended family who I haven't seen in a while or since my wedding were there. Everyone was really excited because this was the first time most of them were seeing me pregnant. During the party, several of them came up to me and Henry. They asked questions, congratulated us, asked to feel my tummy, etc. Ugh. It's been a few years since there was a new baby in the family, so I think that's why everyone was so excited. Anyway, I went into the kitchen at one point to get more soda to bring out. Taylor and Liam ended up following me into the kitchen. Taylor was really upset and looked like she was about to cry. I asked her what was wrong, and she told me that I'm what's wrong. I asked what she meant, and she gestured to my stomach and said I was acting like a bitch. I was confused and offended, so I asked her to explain what she meant because I don't think I was doing anything wrong. Liam answered and said I was rubbing my pregnancy in their faces. I apologized because that wasn't my intention. I can't even begin to imagine what they've been going through the last 7 years. Isn't this the plot of a movie? Like, two people who were like on birth control and don't want to have kids get pregnant. Meanwhile, their cousins or whoever, their friends, like they've been trying to have kids for however long and they can't. It seems like a pretty easy situation. You just give the kid to the other couple and then everybody's happy. Taylor told me that I didn't deserve this baby. She said that I didn't even want it and it's not fair that Henry and I get a baby right after getting married. I told her I agreed it wasn't fair, but I do want this baby. She then threw my hesitation when I first got pregnant in my face and said that meant I didn't want or deserve it. After that, there was a lot of crying and I started to struggle to understand her. Eventually, Henry came in because I was taking so long, and asked what was going on. I told him and he told Taylor and Liam they were out of line and I never meant to offend them, and then ushered me outside with the soda. We ended up leaving shortly afterwards because Taylor and Liam kept glaring at me and I was feeling awkward. I have to accept the facts as given and it's real. Yes. No, I believe it's real. Or at least some version of this is real. It just sounds like the plot of a movie. Henry keeps assuring me I did nothing wrong, but I'm not sure. Taylor has never spoken to me like that. I care about her and Liam a lot, and seeing them so upset makes me wonder if I was an asshole. What do you mean, if you were an asshole for being pregnant? What kind of passive person is this? As an infertile woman who cried my share of more tears, I can promise you that you are definitely not the asshole. Nowhere did you mention anything about sashaying up to her chanting, I'm having a baby and you are not, neener neener. That would have been cruel, but you didn't do that. You're not required to hide your pregnancy to spare her feelings. Exactly. Oh, that's amazing. Of course you're not the asshole. While I'm sure it's a hard pill to swallow for your cousin, it's none of her business. Congrats on the baby. Man. Imagine being like hyper fertile like that. Pregnant through the condom and the implant. Incredible. It's like a miracle almost. Am I the asshole for snapping my half-sister's neck? I mean, snapping at my half-sister when she called to say neither her nor my other sister will be attending my wedding after they've both RSVP'd yes? The snapping was probably unnecessary. I don't know what the like etiquette is if you RSVP for something and then have to cancel. All right, let's see what the reason they give is. I have two half sisters, Molly and Mary, from Dad's previous marriage. I wasn't close, blah blah blah. I got married a few weeks ago and they were both invited. They both RSVP'd yes. Literally a couple days before the wedding, Mary calls and says neither her nor Molly will be attending. I'm shocked. I was shook, chat. Because obviously all the catering, everything's been put in and now 4 people won't be attending. They each had a +1. Mary did sound apologetic and she explained to me, detailing a traumatic situation Molly's going through. And she will also not be attending and staying with Molly and their mom instead. I got upset and said that I understand, but if she can't attend for a little while to support me, she can leave early if she wishes. Mary kept saying it's not possible, so I snapped and said how neither of them care about my feeling and the effort put into this wedding, especially since Molly herself didn't bother to give me a call to let me know. Obvious that I was always the outsider sister and not part of their group. Mary said I was being selfish and hung up the phone. I did tell some relatives the situation who knew about it and got mixed reactions for going off at Mary. So am I the asshole for snapping because they didn't come to my wedding? Yeah, a little bit. The fact that you withheld the details of the traumatic situation tells me you know deep down that you're an asshole. Not everything's about you. You're the asshole. Molly's boyfriend died in an accident. If that's okay, we're getting, this is deep lore now. If Mary and Molly come across this post, deepest sympathy and condolences. You're now a strong candidate for worst the asshole OP of 2022. That's amazing. That's wow. A boyfriend of a half-sister can't attend on account of being dead? So the post was inaccurate. There's only 3 people who could have attended. Oh no, what an asshole. It was already paid for. It doesn't matter if they show up or not. You're just being the ass. Yep. And it's, yeah, especially with this information, your half-sister's partner died and you're upset she's not going to an event that's literally a celebration of love. You're the asshole. Wait, okay. So I guess OP must have posted comments that we cannot see. They didn't edit their top post, so we just have to go by the information in the comments. Oh man. Wait, what was that? You want a woman who, by your comments, just lost her boyfriend in a very tragic way to attend a wedding. Oh my gods, lady, you have 4 open spots now. Go invite some friends if you have any. Oh man. I've never let my death prevent me from attending an event before. You know what? You have a good point. Dead guy's the asshole. He shouldn't have died. Let's see. Yeah, info, what was the traumatic situation? Opie's replied exactly what the extremely traumatic event was. You're being unfair here. You already had a couple weeks notice a dead boyfriend wouldn't be coming, so really? You only got late notice on 3 people? Oh no. Just to confirm, if your husband dies, you'll still happily attend a party a couple weeks later to avoid impacting the catering. Oh, OP is getting destroyed. That's amazing. That was a sneaky one too, because it didn't have the flare. Am I the asshole for refusing to let my mom stay with me? That sounds boring. We gotta start being a little more picky now. We're getting into the less highly rated ones. How rude of him to die after RSVPing. Am I the asshole for forcing my son to stay with me after his father's death instead of with his relatives? Okay. That just sounds sad. Am I the asshole for saying I want to buy a house with or without my 23 male without my girlfriend? Yeah, okay, we'll check this one. I was talking to my girlfriend of 3 years and we came up on the topic of what we're going to do after we graduate from college, as we're both juniors and only have a year left. I mentioned that a year after graduating, I plan to buy a house and I'd love it if we could do that together. I said this to her because she's always talking about wanting to live together already or move in together at an apartment, etc. She said she wouldn't want to buy a house because she doesn't want to be locked into a 30-year mortgage right after college and rather rent, and also thinks it's a dumb idea. Okay. She also said that she would be graduating with $15K in loans and a car payment and doesn't want to add a partial mortgage payment to that list. So I said that makes sense, but I'm still going to buy a house because it's something I really want to do. Where's this dude getting all this money from to buy a house? You don't just, wait, you go down to the house store and you're like, I'd like to purchase a house, please. Have it delivered to my house. She then said, I'm not giving her a choice in the situation. I'm being inconsiderate because I'm choosing to go through with this future plan. And why wouldn't I wait for her to finish paying off her loans before going in on a house together? This relationship will not last, chat. I told her that I want to jump on getting a home because thankfully it comes out. He's rich. Thankfully, my parents have promised to help with a sizable down payment and partial mortgage payment while I get on my feet at an engineering firm after college. She was upset and called me stubborn and that I was going to do what I wanted anyways. And that if I wanted to be with her, that I wasn't showing up by making it clear that I was going to do what I wanted to do. Whether she approved or not, and that it showed her that we're not a team, as I always say. She then drops the idea that she couldn't believe I would buy a house first before wanting to help her pay off her student loans. I then was really upset and asked her, are you seriously upset right now because I want to buy a house instead of paying off your student loans? Is that why you're upset right now? Huh? Is that why you're upset? She said we're getting nowhere and she needs to study for her summer class. I said okay and we hung up. I'm still so confused. If you wait until your loans are paid off, you won't buy a house until you're 50. That's a dumb idea. Yeah, really. To me, it was super upsetting and I could not understand her perspective. Am I the asshole for saying I'd go through with buying a house after she said she wouldn't want to join me in that a year after college? Not the asshole, since it's not you but your parents that will be providing the house deposit. Is she asking that they pay her loans off instead of paying a mortgage payment? Either way, she's not entitled to your parents' money. She sounds like she has a bit of money chip on her shoulder. Yeah, that's just a shit situation. Only in America, right? Like student loans are a thing. Am I the asshole for refusing to move the safe? Wait, what? My father has a cabin in the woods. For my daughter's birthday, I'm taking her and 3 friends there. When she told me who all she wanted to invite, I emailed the parents. One mom had some safety questions, like is there cell reception, how close is the nearest hospital, etc. She also wanted to know if there were guns on the property. I answered affirmatively. There were 5 hunting rifles on the property, all locked in a gun safe, and the safe would not be open during this trip. Not like I'd have time to hunt while supervising 4 13-year-olds. She said she was uncomfortable with that, and I said I understood. A week later, after I'd already told my daughter to pick another friend, but before she had decided, I get another email asking if I would move the gun safe for the duration of the trip. I don't want to, because the only place I'd be able to put it is a storage locker, which I have no desire to pay for. It's also heavy, so I would need help loading it. I'd also have to drive my husband's truck to the cabin instead of my car, and the truck gets terrible gas mileage, blah, blah, blah. Just lie and say yes. Easy. Oh, yeah, that comes up here. The other mom is kind of upset, and I do feel bad. She said I'm excluding her daughter. However, and I think I may be the asshole for this loan. I think it's really tacky to accept an invitation with conditions. I think if someone invites you somewhere, you should say yes or no, not the only come if X condition is met. Just feels rude. My husband says I should have just lied, but I think that's gross. She has the right to keep her kid away from guns, even locked up ones. But I also don't feel obligated to move the safe. Is this an asshole move? Not the asshole. Moving a safe is a pain in the ass. You're being a responsible gun owner. Everything's locked up and safe. You're being honest about it. Mom has every right to make her own decisions of allowing/not allowing her daughter to go. But pushing you to move the safe is out of line. Yeah, it's a locked safe. Like what are you worried about? What a weird. Oh, it's so weird, man. Like, I get that I have a bit of a different relationship with guns because I was in the army. Like, I know how to handle them. I'm not scared of them unless someone's pointing it at me, and then I tell them to stop. But, yeah. All right. Am I the asshole for canceling the trip after my fiance decided to bring her 10-year-old son with us? Oh, no. Oh, man, that sucks. No, and you're not the asshole. Am I the asshole for not giving my roommate a sanitary pad? Wait a minute. I, 25F, live in a hostel. Just like the movie Hostel. Oh, that's fun. And there are a total of 6 girls in my room, including me. We are here for 8 to 10 months pursuing our postgraduate course. This is the first time I've been away from my family as long as this is really long for a very simple question. A few years back, I had an operation because of which my menstrual cycle this is the night of 1,000 periods, chap. Were affected drastically, and my periods used to come every 10 to 15 days. Oh no. It got cured with some medications, but this has given me bad anxiety because there were so many incidents with the stain in public places that were really humiliating. Since then, I've kept some extra pads on hand just in case. We have a very tight schedule here in the hostel. There are 4 hours of lectures plus 4 hours of practical lab from Monday to Saturday, and hardly any time on Sundays because of assignments. Sounds miserable, but all right. We all have the habit of going shopping once a month and buying food, snacks as we get lunch and dinner from our institute canteen, and daily needs for the whole month. But this time I couldn't go, and I wasn't able to buy a few things, including my sanitary pads. I cannot manage without sanitary pads, so I ordered them online. I bought the biggest pack they were selling, which will last me at least 4 to 5 cycles. I took the package and came into my room. Whenever something comes in a package, my roommate gets all curious and sits until the package is opened. This time I told them it was not anything great, but they still kept looking when I was opening it. When they saw what was in it, they started laughing their butts off. It was really weird and unsettling. One of my roommates, Elle, said, This is what you have ordered," pointing towards it. They were making such a huge deal out of it. I tried to justify that we might not get time to buy them because of upcoming exams, but they kept laughing. After dinner, Elle and S went to the other room to meet with their friend. They were discussing this thing like a hot topic. What? She bought a bulk thing of pads? Who cares? What a weird... How old? These people are 25. They're acting like they're 10. And soon enough in the day, this became a laughing material for everyone, including the boys as well. Okay. Can I just say, when you're in your 20s, you're not boys and girls anymore. But maybe it's a foreign language. Because they have hostels. We don't have hostels here in America. At least, I don't think we do. Here, I might be the asshole. I wake up at 5 a.m. to get my shower, and there's only one bathroom for all of us. After that, Elle uses the bathroom. When I was getting ready, I heard Elle calling my name. I went on to check on her. She told me to give her a sanitary pad. I said, sure, just tell me where you've kept it. She told me she didn't buy it, as she was certain her cycle wouldn't come for another 1 month. She has a condition. Jeez. I don't need to know all this. And to give her one of mine. This really irked me, and I told her no. She looked at me confused and said I am not giving her anything, as she's already made fun of that thing, and she can ask someone else. She said sorry, but I wasn't having it, and finally she woke up A and got one from her. After some time, I started feeling bad for what I'd done because no one was talking to me properly except my project partner. She's the only one supporting me. It's a very hostile environment. Okay. Not the asshole. Might not be a popular opinion, but I don't care. She's not entitled to your expensive hygiene products after mocking you for doing the sensible thing and buying yours when you needed them. Also, I don't get what's so funny about her joking about it in the first place. Is buying a toothbrush funny to her as well? I'm a guy and I carry pads for my female friend because I know that she's very forgetful. No need to be ashamed of these things. Also, there were other women around. Demanding one from the exact person you mocked is ballsy and pretty stupid idea. Okay, OP is Indian. Periods are a very private topic here. There you go. All right, that explains it. So different culture, completely different ways of handling things. Not the asshole. I don't understand what's there to laugh at in a sanitary pad. It's a biological need. It's like laughing at toilet paper. Like, oh my gosh, why'd you buy 24 rolls of toilet paper? Ha, you idiot. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and do one more. And then we'll call it a night. Because my voice is, wait. Is this the one we want? Am I the asshole for not letting my sister hang out with us? I'm gonna say I don't care. Go back. Go back. Okay. Would I be the asshole for refusing to meet my dad's new girlfriend? I'm 25. My mom became sick and died last year. Okay, that's too sad. Am I the asshole for telling a woman I'm not leaving until I get paid after she said she's not paying? I assume OP is a prostitute. All right, I work as a delivery driver for a restaurant for the summer to help pay my tuition. Our restaurant handles a lot of big catering orders, and they ask the drivers to deliver those. Yesterday, they asked me to deliver a catering to a grad party. Everything went smoothly, and I arrived with the food. After I set the food on the tables, they said it wasn't enough to feed 100 people, like they indicated. I said they ordered food enough for 100, and this is what the restaurant gave me. They said that this was definitely not enough and told me they would need more. I told them they can call the restaurant and order more, but they still owe me for the food. The lady told me she's not paying me until she gets 100 people worth of food. I said, please, I can't get skimped on a massive catering. I'll have to pay for it out of pocket. In what country do you have to pay for it out of pocket? Keep in mind their bill was around $1,200 and they only put 20% down. I had already decided I'm not getting tipped. I just can't afford to get skimped like this. I told her I'm not leaving until they pay, and I'm not going to let them eat until they pay. As per our catering contract, that's policy. They paid, and I thought it was all settled till they came in the next day asking for me, and they started yelling at me. My boss told them we're sorry and that he'll deal with me. Then he gave them a gift card. After they left, he said I should have called the restaurant and figured something out. He said it's not a big deal, but I shouldn't have done that. I agreed to get him off my ass, but I don't think I was in the wrong. Not the asshole. There's no way it's legal to get you to pay out of pocket if someone doesn't pay for an order. 2, your boss seems like a dick. Yeah, really. Seems like it's time to go job hunting. Yep. Ugh. Yeah, I know the country Hex. You're right. This is obviously American. It's not legal, but they'll do it anyway. The Am I the Asshole needs a new rating. You're the asshole for submitting us to this terrible story. Yeah. You're not the asshole in the story, but the fact that you posted it here makes you an asshole. Am I the asshole for not wearing my mom's wedding dress when I am clearly not too keen on it and it does not suit me? I saw a commercial for this on YouTube the other day. Am I the asshole for not giving my adopted daughter a stuffed animal for her high school graduation when both of my biological children got one? Okay. See if we can find a nice asshole one. Hold on. Let's go back a month. Back to the top. Top of the... Wait, this is the top of today? I thought this was the week. Shoot. No wonder we've been seeing so many fresh ones. Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole? Am I the... Where's the asshole one? I just want to read one good asshole one. Come on, give me something good here. I don't think we're gonna get one. The thing is, typically people don't post here unless they're pretty definitively not... Oh wait, here we go. Oh, we read this one already. Am I the asshole for bringing my baby to a child-free wedding? Yeah, we read that one last time. And we need to go back, do it a week. I can't do these too close together because otherwise we run into problems where we get the same ones. Am I the asshole for shaving my head before my cousin's wedding? As a bald guy, I'm gonna say no. But oh, this is a 13-year-old girl who has this condition. All right, so not the asshole. Am I the asshole for telling my sister-in-law to not buy the same shampoo as me and causing a scene at dinner? Wait, what? Okay, this isn't, it doesn't say asshole, but this one, we gotta read this. This will be the last one, chat. Okay. I feel like an insane person. You sound like an insane person. I had to make a new Reddit here because I know my sister-in-law follows me on Reddit. My 32-year-old sister-in-law, oh wait, okay, so she's 32, sister-in-law is 29, is obsessed with me. I swear to God, we've known each other for 7 years when I started dating her brother, and from the start I got weird vibes from her. She asks me where I got a certain piece of clothes or jewelry, then buys the exact same ones. If I dye my hair, she dyes her hair the same color. If I post on Instagram about a certain restaurant, she will go there the next day or the same week. I got a new hairstylist and tagged her. Quick edit, I tagged the stylist, not my sister-in-law, on Instagram. A few months later, I visit her again. She thanks me for sending her a new client. Guess who that was? I posted a photo of my room a month ago. The next time I visit her place, she had the same sheets. She says she's had them for ages and it's a coincidence. These kind of things happen all the time. She's being gaslit and it's actually happening. It's actually gaslighting this time. Sometimes I'll run into her at the grocery store and she'll ask what I'm picking up. And if I tell her, she says, oh, how funny, me too, haha, and buy the exact same thing as me. I've had people tell me they say they saw her and thought she was me because we dress so similar and have the same hair. We dress so similar, I guess. I wish I didn't have to see her, but the kicker is our husbands are best friends / business partners. Oh no, what a wacky situation. And they live 2 blocks from us. Oh no, I've brought this up to my husband since the start and we both talked to her and she either denies and says it's all coincidence, or she just says she thinks I have such good taste that she can't help it, but promises she'll stop and never does. My husband realizes it's frustrating, but he ultimately says it's harmless and she's his sister, so he can't just cut her off for copying me. This is weird, man. The other day she asked me what shampoo I use and I refused to tell her because I knew she was just going to buy it. But she started crying and my husband told me it's not a big deal. So I told her after she assured me she wasn't going to buy it. She was just curious because my hair is always so nice. Yesterday we went over to their place for dinner and I used the washroom and decided to check my suspicions. So I looked in the tub and saw she had bought the same shampoo. Dun dun dun. I was so frustrated that I brought the bottle to the table in front of our husbands, and told her that she is not allowed to buy the same shampoo as me. That's none of your business. And that this shit has got to stop or else I will cut her and her husband off regardless of what my husband says, and I will never see them again. Obviously, my husband said I embarrassed him and she started crying and we left. And then Albert Einstein handed me $50 and everybody clapped. I may have overreacted, but the situation is making me crazy. My friends who know about this said I overreacted, but it's understandable because of the position I'm in constantly. My husband wants me to apologize to her, but I do not want to. Okay. So your sister-in-law is weird, but why do you care if she copies you? Like, who cares? She buys the same stuff as you. Just be like, yeah, I bought this and I bought this and I bought this and this is all the stuff I want. You want to buy the same stuff? Go right ahead. Why is it a big deal? What she's doing is creepy and weird. So what? Not the asshole. I'm a bit biased because I had gone through the same thing when I was younger. It was a former friend of a friend turned BFF. All right. I want to find somebody. Not the asshole. Tell her you're in therapy. Hopefully she copies you and gets some real help. Imagine having children. Will sister-in-law want to get pregnant just because OP did? Then if the children happen to be the same sex, OPs would be older, so sister-in-law would then copy everything OP does with her child. Clothes, school, sports. How much pressure would be on sister-in-law's kid? And how much competition would there be? Who cares? I do not see this copying as bad. I don't know. Let's see what this person has to say. It is a form of harassment. It means you are being observed and studied all the time. It has a gaslighting aspect as well, because on the surface, it appears benign and flattering, but you know it's not. You can't make any choices without them being deliberately copied. It inhibits your self-expression. It is stressful and crazy-making. I am sorry this is happening to you. Perhaps a therapist can help you find healthy ways to cope. Okay. Not the asshole. She starts crying because you won't tell her what brand of shampoo you use. If she is someone you need to get away from. Yeah, all right. She likes your style a little too much, I guess. All right, that's enough for tonight, chat. We're gonna wrap it up. I'll give you guys an extra hour and 15 minutes, I guess. Thanks everybody for coming out, enjoying Reddit Court. If you missed any of it, the VODs will be up on YouTube and I guess on Twitch for a while. And remember, tomorrow XCOM 2 will be back. Who do we want to send you guys over to? Is there anybody? You go check out Possibly an Alien. She's still doing some Dragon Age. Thank you for submitting us to the worst of humanity. Hex, I am always happy to just throw the worst humanity has to offer. You have a good night too, dude. Rilip. Here we go. Let's start the raid. I'm sure you guys are already in there. If you're not, Possibly an Alien's great. She's playing Dragon Age. She sometimes does art. And here we go.